who will actually just carry on the way that they did before and make life in America somewhat miserable. So not much of a choice, really. What a pity. Do we have a choice here? Well, I don't know. We keep on getting new politicians. We've got Keir Starmer, new head of the Labour Party. He's pretty good on his feet. He's a barrister. And there are two lots of people that I would never want to debate with as a journalist. One is a barrister and the other is a politician. Oh yeah, I've had to interview many politicians. I've even had to sort of moderate debates. But while they're useless at most other things, politicians are very good debaters. I mean, they can make you believe that black is white, that ducks are dragons, and anything else that comes to mind. The only thing is, when it comes to the reality, is they're pretty damn useless in the main. There's the odd exception, of course. One would expect that. But generally speaking, never get involved with a politician when it comes to debate. They will talk you around to where you believe that anything is possible or nothing is possible, depending on what they want you to believe. Well, barristers are the same. They are so used to slicing people up in court without so much as how do you do, is that I don't particularly care for debate with barristers. However, I have to say that my career and my leisure time has brought me into contact with a large number of barristers who are very, very nice, decent people until they get into court, and then they turn into tigers. I got a lovely girlfriend. Oh, she would hate me if I said that, called her that, but her name is Stella, and she's in her late 80s, actually. That's not fair to say that she's 90. But she was the terror of the temple. She was a barrister, and she was absolutely fantastic at what she did. She was right at the top of her profession, and she scares the living daylights out of some of her opposition even now. If we walk into have a meal, some people come and say, please hide me. Stella may get me. Oh, I know that if she's listening, which she does from time to time, that she'll forgive me for saying that, because she's a charming and lovely lady, and she is full of mettle. She decided that she was going to go on a world cruise because the family didn't want to go to their place in France. So she went on a world cruise, got stuck because of the virus, of course, and ended up in some remote part of South America. Went and discovered that she knew somebody there, got a villa, and spent a lovely, lovely time while the rest of us were locked up here. She was locked up in paradise. Oh, well done, Stella. It's just nobody quite like you, darling. There really isn't. Anyway, let's go back to having why don't we have another holiday thing, if I can find one. This one I love because we use it a lot on Rouser. Well, not on Rouser Radio, on Mirador Television. And I think it's just lovely. It's called Central Park. And it just sounds like Central Park. So, Melissa, if you're listening, here is to New York and Central Park. Central Park. Rather lovely, I think. Have you ever been to Central Park? I've been a good many times, but perhaps the one I enjoyed most was I had some time to kill before I set out for the airport, and I went and sat there on a Sunday morning, really, I suppose about 11 o'clock. And I got myself a bagel and a coffee, and I sat there watching people. And Central Park is quite remarkable. Around the perimeter is a track for people on skates. I think it's for bicycles as well. They have to avoid one another. But people skating around. And there are oodles of them. And then you can see off in the distance, well, not that far in the distance, but some of the open spaces, people playing football or baseball. Softball, I think they call the amateur version. And it's just a wonderful sense of, in this huge city, of family. And I get the same feeling when I walk through St James's Park in London. It's one of my favourite parks. I mean, it is one of my favourite parks. It is my favourite park. It's wonderful. It's got this lake which stretches from Buckhouse up to Horse Guards Parade, with a whole variety of bird life of all sorts on it. Actually, in the winter, it's quite amusing sitting there watching them coming onto the ice and crash landing. I never quite knew how birds handle the ice, but they actually do crash land. They come in, put their legs out, and they skid along. Their bottom touches the ice and slows them down, and away they go. But anyway, the St James's Park is very similar to Central Park in the sense that families go there for picnics. People go there and play. They kick a football around, or they hit a tennis ball, or and it really does give you the sense of family that still exists in this vast, sprawling city. Oh yeah, family. If only it hadn't disappeared the way that I remember it as a boy. Edwardian families were big. I had more great aunts and great uncles and grandpas and grandmas coming out of my ears, and I loved them all, and they would all look after me, and my brother and my sister. They would take us to many, many places, and it was great aunts and my grandmother that first brought me down to London, and I couldn't have been any more than about 4 or 5, right after the war ended. And we came down to the neighbouring city of Brighton and had a wonderful time. And I will never forgive, ever, the Brighton authorities, because there was a paddling pool there. It wasn't very deep, but it was our first taste of getting into the water. And I have photographs of my sister, myself, my brother in that paddling pool. I then have some pictures of my daughter in that same paddling pool when she came back from Canada with us. And then I have pictures of my grandsons in that paddling pool. But I'm never going to see my great-grandsons or great-granddaughters when I have them in that paddling pool, because they filled it in to make some sort of a netball court or something. And of course, what was the reason? Health and safety. Oh my God. Please save us from health and safety, because they won't. All they do is they're bureaucrats. They keep on filling in forms. That looks naughty. Stop it. Well, didn't anybody tell them that kids with grazed knees, black eye, a thorn in their thumb, and sometimes as very little toddlers even cramming dirt into their mouths, never killed any of us? In fact, it made us more resistant to germs than not. Did anybody tell them? No. That's dangerous. Close it down. Ooh, dear. Flowers in the rain. Why not? Okay, flowers. Is there anything else I wanted to say? No, fat. Oh, holidays. Holidays are a mess. It doesn't look as if any of us are going to get away. I had hoped my escape is to go just for a few days to Dieppe. Just love Dieppe. And I like going there, and I like eating lobster, and I like eating oysters, and I like eating the French food, and I like wandering the little streets. And just sitting there and having a nice glass of cognac with my coffee first thing in the morning, and a croissant. Oh yes, I just love Dieppe. But I doubt if even Dieppe can welcome me this year. Let's hope. Don't think so. 26 minutes we've been going. It's 6:57 in Lewes in East Sussex. Lovely day out there. Get out and enjoy it. And here are some flowers in the rain. No, we played that yesterday. We just played Central Park, didn't we? Let's have a look to see whether we got anything else. Well, so something it came under holidays called Holidays. Let's see what Holidays gives us. Well, that's nice enough, isn't it? Pleasant enough for a nice sunny day, particularly when you're getting going and you're going towards the train to go on holiday. Whoopee, yes, wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff indeed. We've come to the end of our time. It's 28 minutes we've been going, and it's 6:59. Wherever you are in the UK, it's 6:59. Wherever you are in the rest of the world, add or subtract an hour or two. And that's what time it is there. But in Lewes, in East Sussex in the UK, it's 6:59. And we've got to go. Now, this is a local show, and I haven't actually played any of our local artists this morning, but what I would say to you is that during the First World War, the Chinese, who couldn't take sides militarily, sent lots of their citizens to help out, like working on the docks and that sort of thing. And New Haven, just down the road from Lewes and within the Lewes district, had a whole host of Chinese who got along famously with the locals. There's barely any memory of them now, but I'm going to go out this morning playing my favourite Rose, Rose, I Love You from China, which kept us going in the Second World War. The First World War, the Chinese were in New Haven. God bless them, everyone. Keith Hayes, Rouser Radio, good morning.